thanks to DEI, I just lost my job. The grant, my employment was flagged and it was canceled. And I'm not sure how, because I didn't think we had any of the DEI words. But yeah, as of now, I'm unemployed, I guess.
You're fired.
See, one of the things that I've been trying to let people know is that this is going to get worse before it gets better. And a lot of times people say,
Orlando, come on, man. You know what? It's not gonna happen to me. It's not gonna happen to me. I knew it happened to my neighbor. I knew it happened to my best friend. I even know it happened to my sister. But you know, me, I have seniority. You don't know my background. I've been a teacher for 15 years. And these guys won't let me go. I'm an asset to the Department of Education. I'm an asset to my community as a teacher.
and I wouldn't disagree with you. But you know who will disagree with you? Corporations, companies. They will disagree with you because all they see is you as a number. I don't know if you guys are up to date on the news, but the Department of Education has decided that it's going to get rid of 50% of his employees.
Wait, what?
But don't get confused. They want to close it all together. They're just starting with 50%. And then they just want to close the Department of Education, which has sent a panic across the country where they're laying off teacher after teacher after teacher.
Bye. See you when I see you. Goodbye.
And I know what you're saying, Orlando, this cannot be true. I just read the other day that we have a teacher shortage.
How can they lay off a profession that we have a shortage in?
And I would say like this. But we're gonna jump into it, guys. This is a video you need to watch from beginning to end, guys. This has vital information to hear that will affect your jobs and your property taxes. Guys, you don't wanna miss this. My name is Orlando. Welcome to the channel, guys. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. And also to have a newsletter. Yes, a newsletter that is completely free. How can you be free? You cannot beat free. And then also too, if you need any type of financing that deals with commercial property or investment properties, I am your guy. I've been a lender for almost 20 years and I can assist you with that. That information is in the pinned comment and the description. Let's just start off by saying, teachers, we love you. Let's just start off by saying that. Teachers, we love, because if there is a occupation that doesn't get paid enough money, that doesn't get enough credit, it's teachers. I have never understood how a job is so important, but yet you get paid pennies. But with that being said, the writing was on the wall. I've been doing video on nurses, teachers, and UPS guys, and just a multitude of occupations. And I was letting people know that this was going to happen. And everybody would say, oh, the money that we're receiving, it's never gonna stop. And we are here now.
Didn't I tell you? It was just a matter of time.
Teachers, tons of teachers are currently getting laid off because of the pre-pandemic packages, right? So if you don't understand what I'm talking about, let me just give you a little bit of synopsis so that you understand what's happening currently right now and where it's going right now. Okay, so during the pandemic, the government gave out tons and tons of money. And for education, they gave tons and tons of money. These packages were lucrative for states and schools. They had a lot of money dealing with lunches, and per student, that number got elevated. And the schools were just so flush with money. So what did they do? They hired more teachers. They put out that money to bring more teachers to take care of the students, and that day has ended. That's right, that day has ended. So what have states done? States have said, listen, we know that we're not gonna get this money again. We know that our budget is gonna drop from this number to this number because we're no longer getting money from the federal government. Let it be to DEI, let it be to the pre-pandemic package, or we know we won't get money because the Department of Education is closing. And as that is happening, we get stories like this.
So now that I've had a few days to wallow in my self-pity, and I allowed myself to essentially grieve and calm down a little bit. Last week, my supervisor received notification that the grant that funded not just my, but several people's position had been terminated thanks to the anti-DEI initiative. This program was to assist in recruiting people to become teachers, and not just teachers, but effective teachers, to get extra training and opportunities for that, and to help people get a degree for teaching that maybe couldn't before. And then those teachers were contracted to go teach at our schools in our community, which was great because, I mean, everybody could use more teachers, more effective teachers. I mean, that's just the way the world is right now. So I have decisions to make because I am a single mom of twin teenage boys. We've had a really hard year. Basically, my husband decided he didn't want to be a husband or a father anymore, and we had to leave his house and find a place to live. And we found a place in my son's school district. Thank you so much for my family for helping me with that. We had settled in. We were getting over the trauma. We were moving on. We were happy. I had felt happy for the first time in a long, long time. And I was so excited for the future and what was coming up and the things I was going to be able to do. And I just started to breathe freely, what it felt like for the first time in a long time. And then literally, as soon as I'm like, all right, I'm on track, this happened.
But you know the one thing that's very surprising, no pun intended, is that most people that I do these stories on, when I watch their videos, when I'm reporting on this, they're all surprised. That's right, they're all surprised. They're like, what do you mean?
As soon as I'm like, all right, I'm on track, this happened.
Do you know that I have a federal job? This federal job, everybody knows you can never get fired from here. You can never, ever, ever get fired from here. Once you're locked in, you're untouchable. You can do the worst of the worst of the worst. You can show up late. You can do all types of things. The one thing that will never happen is me getting fired.
Are you kidding me?
And I was trying to preach and preach and preach and let people know these companies aren't loyal. This goes to your politician. This goes to your Googles. This goes to your Facebook. These guys will do whatever they have to do to make sure that they're okay, and they don't care about you. You think that, oh, we're family. We're family. Oh, man. Orlando, let me tell you what.
Don invited me to a barbecue. He gave me a card with $20 in it and said, you're the best worker. He's never going to let me go.
I was just speaking to someone the other day, and they said, Orlando, I know what you're talking about. I know what you say on your YouTube channel. I hear you, but I just don't see them laying me off.
Come on, man.
If they lay me off, this department is gonna break down. This department, everyone else is gonna quit because I'm the leader. I said, what? You think that you're so important that the whole department is gonna shut down and you're gonna cause a massive strike just because they let you go? Really?
Boy, you crazy.
This is what I call blind loyalty to these companies, to these politicians. You think that a whole department is gonna just walk off the job because they let you go, Jeremy. Interesting. And this is with the news that is available at your fingertips. Let me just show you, and I understand people are gonna ignore this. People are gonna think like, yeah, what is that gonna matter? That's not gonna do anything. Let's just take a look. Education department fires 1,300 workers, gutting its staff. The layoffs mean that the department will now have a workforce about half the size it did when President Trump took office. Now, a lot of you guys are like, well, you know, Orlando, listen, they're just downsizing. They're not gonna get rid of the Department of Education, causing a domino effect. No, they're not doing that. There's no way. There's no way they would do that. Yes, they are. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. When you have the information in front of your face and you see what they just did to your colleagues, why are you not looking for another job? If half of your colleagues have been fired and you've been hearing directly from your boss, we're going to try to close this thing down. but we need approval to completely kill it from Congress. But we're just going to suck all the funding away. You should be looking at yourself and be like, well, how are they going to pay me? How if they're going to suck away all the funding from my job, how are they going to pay me? How are they going to take care of me and my family? But instead, people say, well, he got rid of Jeremy. He got rid of Don. He was a good worker, but I'm still here, and you think you're safe.
Who does that?
But you don't have to trust me. You don't have to trust Orlando at all. Let's hear from your boss. She will tell you exactly what's going to happen.
The first step on the road to a total shutdown.
Yes, actually it is, because that was the president's mandate. This directive to me clearly is to shut down the Department of Education, which we know we'll have to work with Congress, to get that accomplished. But what we did today was to take the first step of eliminating what I think is bureaucratic.
Reports today said that the buildings were going to be closed for security reasons. What does that mean?
Well, when people left today and they got their notification to take their laptops and their phones home with them, and we didn't want part of the people who were being permanently let go and those who are remaining to some of them to show up to work tomorrow morning.
That's standard corporate
practice.
practice.
So it's just standard corporate practice that we just locked the doors and said, for those that are coming back, we'll know that they'll be coming back on Thursday morning.
Were people given a chance to take any personal effects?
They were told that they will be allowed to come back. We would arrange for them to come back and take their personal effects with them, and to say goodbye to some folks too.
How nice of her.
And to say goodbye to some folks, too.
Now, let me guess. There's someone in the back. There's going to be someone in the comments and be like, well, I mean, they're still not going to shut it down. Your boss just told you. She just told you, we're trying to close this thing. We're going to wrap it up and it's gone. We actually think this whole education department, it's garbage. It's crap. We need to get rid of it. Throw it in the trash. It's wasteful spending. That's what she said. So if you know this, remember, half of the force has been shut down. Half. What is the other half doing? Just typing away? You don't believe that your job is at risk and your boss is saying, we're going to let you go. Matter of fact, we want you to work to close down your job. But don't worry, we don't know when we're going to fire you, but as soon as we drain all of the money out of this department, then we'll let you know.
Sensational.
But here's the thing, guys. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is small compared to when they completely cut down the Department of Education. And this is the ripple effect that you're already seeing. The ripple effect that you're seeing right now is pandemic money. That pandemic money is gone. Everybody knows they're not going to receive it this year. And that's the reason why you're seeing a ton of teacher layoffs. But it doesn't stop there, guys. It doesn't stop there. And this is the reason why. Federal public education funding per K through 12 student. Now, if you take a look at this chart here, if you just take a look at it, it shows here all of the money that the federal government, the Department of Education, gives towards education. That number is about $102 billion.
What?
Let me repeat that again. That number is $102 billion. And so the darker the blue here, the more funding that the state gets from the federal government. So my question is, the whole reason for collapsing or getting rid of the Department of Education is wanting to give all of the power to the state. The federal government doesn't need to be in education. That's what they're saying, right? So what does that mean for the state? That means that if your state budget isn't good, that means that your state has to come up with that money.
He got cooked.
And as we all know, some states are on the edge of bankruptcy. Nebraska, Illinois, and it goes on and on and on and on. So that means that your state has to come up with the money. Now, we've been here before, guys. From your janitor, from your teacher, to your administration staff, anybody in education is on the hook to be laid off. Who's going to come up with the difference? We know what happens when states don't have the money. When they have to come up with the money to pay teachers, they're not. They're going to lay people off. So if you think that this beginning portion of pre-pandemic package money is causing teachers to be laid off, wait until you see what happens when all of the money state by state is sucked away. How are these states going to come up with the money to pay teachers? They won't. And if you believe that they will, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
I found out that I'm getting laid off. I'm angry, annoyed, feeling very unappreciated, anxious, excited, but still very emotional. No one wants to invest this much time and energy into a job to just be told you served your purpose, basically, and we're done with it. We're done with your store. We're done with your team. Move on. Don't get me wrong. Whenever I have something like this happen, I always bounce back 10 times better, 10 times stronger. If you've been laid off, like, how was it for you? How did you handle it? Because this is not for the weak.
See, now everyone's saying, oh man, you can't trust these guys. You can't trust. And it's because, and this is the truth, it's because now the layoffs are really happening.
Now.
You're seeing 80,000, 10,000, 12,000. Remember, the economy's doing great. I mean, that's what they're telling you. Job numbers are up. Inflation is down. Let me lay this last portion on. If you know that the government is going to get rid of giving money to a state for education, and the state has to come up with the difference. They have to come up with the difference. Let's just say again that $20 billion. Let's talk about how schools get money. So how do schools get money, guys? Property taxes.
Get the f*** out.
Now the state has to make a decision. Okay, we can't come up with $20 billion because we don't have it. So to make up for that $20 billion, we have to tax you guys. Property taxes. Property taxes go up, and they will go up.
Thank you, America!
They will come to you guys and say, listen, the federal government said that they won't give us any more money for education to teach your kids. So now we have to come to you guys and up your property insurance to cover the $20 billion loss, or some of it. We may not be able to cover the full amount, but maybe we could get $1 to $2 billion off of you guys.
It's about time.
Now, a lot of you guys say, hey, Orlando, listen, I was with you. I'm not a teacher. Why are you guys coming to me? My taxes are already high. I can't already afford to pay my taxes. My insurance and property taxes are now more than my actual mortgage. And now you want me to pay more money? You want me to pay more money to pay for teachers because the federal government no longer wants to help out? That's what they're going to do.
Man, I'm dead.
Yes, that's what they're going to do. They're going to come to you guys and say, they're going to pass you the bill. They're going to hand you the envelope, the mysterious envelope, and you open it up and go, oh.
Bruh.
I just got let go from my job as part of organizational shifts and return to office. As you guys know, I have been a remote employee for the past 5 years, really since the beginning of the pandemic. And I'm crying not because I'm sad that I got let go. Obviously, the instability of losing an income always sucks. What sucks most about being let go is somebody taking control out of your hands. I always preach internally and here at home that we have got to be the people in the driving seat of our futures, of our careers. And when a company takes that control out of your hands, it sucks because all of a sudden the plan that you had, the roadmap that you were on board for is gone. Now you've got to start over. And this is why you've always got to have a plan B, a plan C, and most importantly, an emergency fund. I am incredibly upset and frustrated. There have been several shifts in the company in this last couple of months that I just knew the writing was on the wall and I knew my time was coming. But the fact that we have an emergency fund, because ultimately that is what matters at the end of the day, is that we have money to pay our mortgage, to pay for our daycare. We have that as a fallback, and I can take time, maybe a week, to just collect my thoughts and put together a strategy for job hunting. Always be prepared for the unexpected, because ultimately companies will always put themselves first. And as much as you want to believe that you're part of the family, you like the people you work with, it's a business transaction. It's a business contract, and you've got to handle it as such. But please know that you are more than your job. You are more than what you do. Have a plan, have an emergency fund, Do not spend more than you need to. Live below your means. We are in strange times. That isn't beside me losing the job, just general messaging. Protect yourselves, treat yourself as a business, and always be looking for better opportunities because companies would do the same, and they are.
Oh, it's like she watches my videos. It's like she went through and said, oh, check. This is what Orlando says. This is what Orlando says. This is what Orlando says. My point is, guys, the reason why I put this in here is because this is what I preach. You know, a lot of times people say, Orlando, come on, man. You're going to help us out. Give us some good news. This is the good news. I've said it over and over and over again. Have an emergency savings account. Why aren't you saving? The point is for when something like this happens, you get laid off. You have enough money to take care of what you need to take care of. Fact. To take care of you and your family. You have enough money to pay your bills. You have enough money and energy to allow yourself to go after other opportunities.
You seem like you could take care of yourself.
And, maybe, a lot of times people hear from me and they say, oh, yeah. But maybe if you hear it from someone else, it'll click through. It'll make you go, the light bulb go off and go, what am I doing? I have been spending over and over and over my actual income for years. Maybe I need to budget. Maybe I need to get my credit together. Maybe I need to put myself and my family in the best position possible.
This is a dream come true.
So that when things like this happen, I can say, cool, that happened. I'm out of here. I'm going to the next opportunity. But so many times, a layoff can be destructive. A layoff is going to crush someone and make them go into bankruptcy. A layoff is going to make them sell their home, go into foreclosure. And that's because most people cannot even live without getting another paycheck in 2 weeks. Paycheck to paycheck is real, guys. 70% of people live paycheck to paycheck. In this 2025 collapse of our economy, do you think that a lot of people will be able to survive 2 weeks without a job? This is the reason why I preach this message over and over and over again. And I hear some people in the comment section that say, I don't know, savings, it's overrated. Budgeting, it's overrated. That won't save you. Okay.
Don't be a fool.
And as unfortunate as this news is when it comes to teachers getting laid off, when the Department of Education is getting rid of federal workers, and they will collapse and get rid of the other additional workers too, closing down the whole department, sending a domino effect, no matter if you believe right, left, whatever it is, the politics portion of it, whatever. The truth of the matter is this is what's happening. This is what they're trying to do. And believe these people when they tell you, please, can I just say that? Believe these people when they tell you the first time that they want to do this stuff. A lot of times you guys are, tariffs? He's not going to do a tariff. Getting rid of Department of Education? No, that's never going to happen. Your supervisor tells you, things are looking shaky. We're hearing through the grapevine that some layoffs may happen. You're like, oh, but you got me, John. Please make sure that you take care of you and yours first. Please take the information that I'm giving you, information you read yourself. Do the research. Make sure you're doing what's best for you and yours. I've said it over and over again. I hope you got value out of the content, but it will get worse before it gets better. But I need you to watch this video right here. This video right here. Yes, this one right here. We'll give you information on the housing market, financial news, get you into your first rental property. Guys, the information that I will give you is gold. But also too, if you like information like this, guys, please join the Patreon. The information you will get there is gold. I drop exclusive content over there. See you there.